Hello, good day to you. Peter Watson here, trainee website designer. This is the first post and video tutorial for the website designing community on Facebook. So today I'm just going to spend some time to talk about XHTML documents and the importance of CSS style sheets or CSS style sheets within XHTML documents. Okay, so starting from the beginning. Now your CSS document would be located here, okay, and you link that to the document. Okay, so as you can see, it has a corresponding opening tag, the open bracket link rel equals style sheet type text CSS, where it's pointing to. So this is the actual style sheet itself, where it's pointing to the style sheet. Title equals style sheet, closing bracket. So there we are. So that's your style sheet. Now if I actually show you the document as it is at the moment in the browser, so I will close that and I will open the document in the browser. Just wait for this to load. So there we go. So this is the document in the browser. So there we are. So I will now close that. I'll come back into the text editor. Now if I go to the style sheet and I comment out the actual style sheet, like so, save the document. I will open this again in Firefox and you will immediately notice the difference. Now as you can see that the web page is completely unstructured and would not be user friendly to any end user who would want to use such a website. I mean, you still have all the functionality of the hyperlinks, etc., but just the layout looks untidy and messy. So now you can see the importance of cascading style sheets across websites and web documents that produce websites in a browser. Okay, so I hope that's been helpful. Moving on, so I will now close this this web page down, and I will open the document back in the editor, and I will comment out the style sheet, or put the style sheet back to its original situation. Okay, so moving on, now I'm going to spend some time to talk about how the table was produced that you saw in the first example of this document in the Firefox browser. So to produce any table, first of all, you need to give it a heading. So a typical day is our heading, but how big do we want that? Right, so you have a choice of many heading tags, H1 being the largest, H6 being the smallest. So we have gone for H2. So you have a corresponding opening bracket and a corresponding opening tag and a small corresponding closing tag. You then have your paragraph. So why is our program so popular, etc., etc., as reads, and you have a corresponding closing paragraph tag, opening tag, closing tag. Okay, so if I remove the closing tag and I just put it as a standard tag, now let's have a look at the difference. So I will now close this, save the document, open it in the browser. So you can see there is no actual change with the actual how it's presented on the actual in the browser itself. However, the problem you will find is when you come to validate your document with the markup service, I will show you what happens. So you go validate my file, upload. You will browse for the actual file. So in this case it's this one, and you will see that it will not validate because you've used invalid XHTML markup coding. So, and it will point out here that there is various errors that have happened within the document just by one markup error. So we will now close that down. Okay, so as you can see, I will now close that down. I will then go back into my document in the text editor. And I will now put that as it was before, to its original situation. So I will now save the document again. And I will now go back to the validation service, browse for the necessary document, which is here, open that document in the validation service, revalidate. Now you can see that the document was successfully checked as XHTML 1.0 transitional. So that has now met the international standard as laid down by the W3C, who are responsible for checking all the markup languages in web documents from web designers around the globe. Okay, so I will now minimize that. So I will then open the document back in the text editor. So here's our document again. So far we have spoke about the importance of cascading style sheets within documents to add structure to web pages and websites, and we have spoken about the importance of using corresponding closing tags with opening tags, as the document will not validate with the W3C, which therefore will go against accessibility issues for disabled users, etc., etc. And plus it's a good standard, you know, that you've shown that as a web developer designer you have took the time to code your document as per standard. So thank you. So now how to produce a table in your website. So you will start with an opening table tag. You want to set a border of 1, okay, and a cell padding of 5, which is the individual space between cells. So for example, time is a cell, activity is a cell, so it's 5 pixels between each cell, okay, and the external border is going to be a pixels of 1. You have your caption in bold text, so you use the strong tag to make text bold, and you have a corresponding closing tag, as I said, for validation purposes. You then come to the table row. I've got the color set as blue in hexadecimal color values, okay, the width of 93 pixels, the activity and the description, okay, and then again so on and so on. So this section is TD, align equals center, in bold 7 AM, so that's the time, activity, description. Okay, so remember I've said align center, it's in bold, and that is the time, the activity and the description. Okay, so it's the same for all of them. In terms of hyperlinks, I will talk about hyperlinks for a minute. So basically how to put a hyperlink onto your web page or website. So you start with an opening anchor tag. So that's bracket A, you're pointing to a certain HTML file. So in this case, it's href equals default HTML. The clickable region will be CCYP home, and you have the corresponding closing anchor tag. That will now make this area here, CCYP home, a clickable region, as it would do for international programs and Join a Summer Build, who also have their own hyperlinks pointing to a set area, okay, or certain location. So there we go. So that is a hyperlink. So from here to here is a hyperlink. Now I will now close the document, open this again in the browser, and show you a hyperlink. So I will click the CCYP. That will now direct me to another area of the website. I'll then come back. I press International Programs. That will now direct me to another location on the website. And I come back. I press Join a Summer Build, and that will take me to another section of the website. So as you can see, I have successfully created hyperlinks in a XHTML 1.0 document, and so we have the table, the hyperlinks, and the CSS structure to structure the web page. I hope this tutorial has been helpful. Thank you for listening, and have a good day. Bye bye.